Students, this video is for class 10, chapter 2, chemistry, acids, bases and salts. Now you have already studied about salts and how they are prepared. Today we are going to study more about them. First topic is family of salts. Family of salts is like those salts that have positive or negative radicals. They are said to belong to a family, to the same family. Like those who are having the same positive radicals, they belong to same family, and those who have same negative radicals, they belong to same family. For example, if I write here some salts like NaCl, which is your common salt, okay, and Na2SO4, sodium sulfate, NaNO3, sodium nitrate, all these are sodium salts. Okay, they have the cation, that is your sodium ion, and depending upon this radical they are named as sodium salts. All these are known as sodium salts, or they belong to the sodium salt family. Then another family is like if I take ammonium chloride, NH4Cl, KCl or MgCl2, all of them have chloride ion. All of them have the chloride ion, and this is known as chloride family or chloride salts. They belong to the same family, that is the chloride salts. So depending upon the cation and anion, we can classify them into different types of salts. So these are sodium salts and these are chloride salts. Right. Now let us see how they can be divided into different categories. For example, this is about the family of salts. Now suppose I have a salt NH4Cl, ammonium chloride. Now sometimes the question comes in exam that what kind of acid and base is used to make this ammonium chloride. So we write here that this is HCl, made up of HCl plus NH4OH. Okay, this is a salt, ammonium chloride is a salt, and HCl is a strong acid. We've already studied about it. So this is a strong acid, and ammonium hydroxide is a weak base. Okay, so this resultant salt, that is the ammonium chloride, this is known as acidic salt. Okay, now we differentiate the salts into different categories. So this is known as acidic salt. Why this is known as acidic salt? Because it is made up of a strong acid and a weak base. Okay, another category, we are on types of salts only. So one I have already told you that this is acidic salt, okay, made up of strong acid and a weak base. Right. If I take another example of copper sulfate is made up of H2SO4 plus copper hydroxide, CuOH whole twice. Now this is a strong acid. Okay, this is a strong acid and this is a weak base. Right. So this is also an example of copper sulfate, is also an example of acidic salt. Acidic salt means which is made up of strong acid and weak base. So naturally acid is going to show its effect. And here the pH will be less than 7. Okay, all these acidic salts, they are having pH less than 7 because they are made up of strong acid. So naturally acid will have the more effect on it. Okay, then second category is of basic salts. Now what are these basic salts? Which are made up of a strong base and a weak acid. Like if I take the example of sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, it is made up of NaOH, which is a strong base, plus H2CO3, which is a weak acid. Now this is weak and this one is strong. So naturally the base is strong, so the salt is known as basic salt, right? And let us take one more example like CH3CONA, sodium acetate. Now this is made up of again NaOH plus CH3COH. Acetic acid is a weak acid, okay, and the base is strong. So naturally again the salt will be basic salt. Okay, now the third category will be so here the pH will be naturally more than 7. This is a basic salt, so the pH will be more than 7. Now the third category is neutral salts. Now they can also be called as amphoteric salts, means which have pH equal to 7. Okay, so in this case we have a strong acid and strong base. For example, NaCl, your common salt, is a neutral salt because it is made up of NaOH, which is a strong base, plus HCl. So both of them are strong. Here this is strong base and this is strong acid. So this is a neutral salt because they neutralize the effect of each other. So this is neutral salt and the pH is equal to 7. Same is with if I take the example of KNO3, potassium nitrate. Now this potassium nitrate is made up of HNO3 plus KOH. Now this is again, nitric acid is a strong acid, potassium hydroxide is a strong base, so naturally the salt will be neutral, right? So these type of salts are known as, rather they are known as neutral salts, or they can be known as amphoteric salts. Okay, amphoteric means which is neither acidic nor basic. So this is neutral salts. Now these neutral salts will have pH equal to 7. Okay, now today we are going to study more about salts. Let us first start with our common salt. Now sea water contains many salts dissolved in it, and sodium chloride, your NaCl. NaCl is sodium chloride. The chemical name is sodium chloride and the common name is common salt. All of us know about it, that this is known as common salt, right? And sodium chloride is separated from these salts, and common salt is actually the raw material for many of the chemicals, right? So we are going to study about the chemicals. We are more interested in the chemicals which are made from sodium chloride, and the first one is NaOH. This is the first chemical which we are going to study today. Sodium hydroxide is a chemical name, and the common name is caustic soda. Caustic soda is the common name. You should know about the common name and the chemical names. This is caustic soda is the common name, and chemical name is sodium hydroxide. Now how it is made? It is made from sodium chloride. It is one of the it is made from, manufactured from sodium chloride. Now how it is manufactured? Let us see the reaction first. This is sodium chloride plus, now this is aqueous solution of sodium chloride plus water. Okay, aqueous means naturally sodium chloride in water. When electric current is passed through sodium chloride solution, aqueous solution, then sodium hydroxide, again this is aqueous, is formed, and chlorine gas is evolved, and plus hydrogen gas is evolved, right? This is the reaction. Now number one, what you should know is that the terms should be very clear to you, that sodium chloride solution, this is known as brine. Okay, you should know the terms very well. Brine means sodium chloride solution. This is aqueous solution of sodium chloride. When electric current is passed through this brine, then sodium hydroxide is formed near cathode. These all things are very important because they are asked as questions in exam, that where is the sodium hydroxide formed? So it is near the cathode. Chlorine gas is evolved at anode. It is formed at anode, and hydrogen gas is evolved at cathode. Okay, now so when the electric current is passed through this aqueous solution of sodium chloride or brine, then sodium hydroxide is formed near the cathode, and chlorine gas is evolved at anode, and hydrogen at cathode. Okay, and this process, this complete process is known as chlor-alkali process. This is very important. The name reactions are very important. This is chlor-alkali process. Chlor-alkali process, why it is known as chlor-alkali process? Because here the products formed, one of the product is chlorine and one of the product is alkali. This is alkali and this is your chlorine gas. That's why the name chlor stands for chlorine and alkali for NaOH. That's why the name of the process is chlor-alkali process. Now there are many products of this. All these products are very useful products. Sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas, hydrogen gas, all of them, these all are very, very important. Okay, and let us look at the uses of these three. First, we take the use of NaOH. NaOH is a very common base which is used in labs, right, to manufacture many of the other products, and it is used in making soaps and detergent. Very important use of NaOH is that it is used to make soaps and detergents. It is also used in making of paper. It is also used in making of some of the artificial fibers like rayon. You have studied in your previous classes that rayon is artificial silk. So NaOH is used to make this artificial silk, that is rayon. It is also used for degreasing of metals. Okay, so these uses degreasing of metals. Degreasing of metals means removing the grease from the metals when the metals are extracted. So this is uses, all these are uses of sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is a very important base. It is a very strong base, right? Now we come to the uses of hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is used as a fuel. You must be knowing that liquid hydrogen is used in rockets. Okay, so liquid hydrogen is used in rockets as a fuel. Hydrogen gas otherwise also is very important, like it is used in making of ammonia. Okay, most of the students write the formula of ammonia as NH4, but it is NH3. Okay, so ammonia, and that ammonia in turn is used for making fertilizers, right? Then it is hydrogen is also used for an important process of hydrogenation of oils. Okay, we'll study this in detail afterwards. Hydrogenation of oils. These are the uses of hydrogen gas. Now we come to the uses of chlorine gas. Chlorine gas is a very good disinfectant. Disinfectant means it is used to kill the germs. Okay, so it is used for the treatment of water. When we have to do the treatment of water, when we have to purify the water, it is used. Even in the swimming pools, to clean the water, it is used. So it is used as a disinfectant. It is a very important disinfectant. Okay, and nowadays in these COVID times, naturally disinfectants play a very important role, so you should know all about it. It is used in making of bleaching powder, which is CaOCl2. We'll do bleaching powder just after this. So it is used in making of bleaching powder, which is we'll study about it. Then it is also used for making of chloroform. I hope everybody knows what is chloroform, right? It is used for making people insensitive. Okay, so this is chloroform is CHCl3. Then CFC, chlorofluorocarbons. It is also used in making of chlorofluorocarbons. It is also used for making of PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Okay, so all these are uses of chlorine. And even hydrogen and chlorine, both of them are used for making a very important chemical, that is HCl, hydrochloric acid. Okay, so all these are the uses of all the products of chlor-alkali process are very important, and these are their uses. Now we come to the next salt, which is bleaching powder. Bleaching powder, the formula is CaOCl2. Bleaching powder is the common name. Bleaching powder is a common name. And what is the chemical name? Chemical name is calcium oxychloride. Calcium oxychloride. Calcium oxychloride is a chemical name and bleaching powder is a common name. Okay, don't get confused whenever you get the question. Okay, now how this is made? We have made chlorine. We got chlorine as a product in chlor-alkali process, and that chlorine will be used for making this calcium oxychloride. Now here how it is, let us see the reaction. We take here calcium hydroxide. Earlier also I have told you that this is the common name is slaked lime for this, slaked lime. Now what is done is that dry slaked lime. This is very important here, that this is not aqueous, this is dry slaked lime, and chlorine gas is passed over this dry slaked lime, and the action of chlorine gas on dry slaked lime produces calcium oxychloride, and hydrogen gas is evolved during the process, and this is your bleaching powder. Okay, the temperature is not mentioned in your book, but if you want you can understand or you can learn this. So this is 313 kelvins. This is the temperature at which this reaction takes place. Calcium oxychloride is made like this. Now this bleaching powder has many uses. Now what are the uses of this calcium bleaching powder? One is it is used in textile industry. Textile industry means the cloth industry. So it is used in textile industry for the bleaching of cotton, for the bleaching of linen or wool. Okay. Then it is also used in paper industry. In paper industry, it is used for bleaching the wood pulp. Okay. Then another use is that it is a very important oxidizing agent. This is a very important oxidizing agent. Okay. You will read about some of the reactions afterwards, that where it plays a role of oxidizing agent. So calcium oxychloride is a very good oxidizing agent, and it is used as an oxidizing agent in labs. Then sometimes a question comes in exam that what is the bleaching agent in this bleaching powder? What is the bleaching agent in the bleaching powder? So that is chlorine. You should know that chlorine is a bleaching agent in the calcium oxychloride or bleaching powder. Okay, I hope all of you have understood well. Okay, we'll meet again. Thank you.